Bronson Pinchot gets lots of laughs playing the lovable immigrant Balky on television's Perfect Strangers. But Pinchot's upbringing was no laughing matter. In a candid interview with us, Bronson revealed his not-so-happy childhood days.
We say the magic words, abracapocus, Ilya Kazan, and flambe! Ah!
As far as Bronson Pinchot is concerned, his life couldn't be going better. His television series, Perfect Strangers, is enormously popular. And in his role as the innocent immigrant Balky, Bronson gets to showcase his wide range of comedic talents. But Pinchot's life wasn't always so fun and fulfilling. He grew up poor. After his parents divorced, Bronson's mother had to support her 4 children by cleaning houses and working as a typist.
We were on welfare, and of course, it felt terrible at the time, but then you grow up and you realize there are people that don't have a home and they don't even have food or water or anything, and you know, you're ashamed to even mention it. But at the time, not being very experienced in the ways of the world, being on welfare in South Pasadena in the 70s was not a barrel of laughs. You know, it just, everything was secondhand or came from Salvation Army and our clothes were falling apart. But it was, you know, it wasn't like real, it wasn't like, you know, inner city torment. But I didn't know what that was then, so I was tormented.
Another source of discontent for the young Pinchot was that he was a chubby kid. You said that you were an overweight wallflower when you were a child.
I went on my first diet when I was 10, and by that time was about 5 years overdue for some sort of, you know, overhaul. I was just chubby and fat from the time I was about 5 until I was about 25.
Bronson found out in high school that being overweight meant you weren't overly popular.
All those things are all connected. I mean, if you're fat, then nobody asks you to play sports, and if you don't play sports, then you're not really popular in high school.
Pinchot was further distanced from the other kids by his interests. Instead of being into rock and roll, cars, and TV, Bronson was interested in classical art. You lived such a solitary childhood that you weren't even familiar with the Beatles.
Not really. I sort of knew. I don't think I really knew their names. I knew who they were a little, but I'd never really listened to any of their music on purpose.
Besides not being particularly popular with the other students, Bronson was not exactly teacher's pet. His constant wisecracks drove his instructors up the wall.
And you never know. Life is full of surprises. Bing!
All I remember was that there was always some middle-aged person telling me to go and stand outside the classroom, which is where I spent a lot of junior high and high school.
As it turns out, the comedic skills which got Pinchot into so much trouble back in school were his ticket to success as an adult. And that strange, overweight troublemaker is now thin, cute, and popular.